LeBron James, Karl Anthony Towns, and NBA players all had something to say as Kyrie Irving returned to the court. Here's how NBA players reacted to Kyrie's on- and off-court antics. From scoring insanely high points to watching one game as part of the audience, here are some of the reactions Irving has elicited from his fellow NBA stars for antics both on and off the court. But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2022 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple. First up, when he played an amazing game. The Brooklyn Nets have come out all right after the James Harden trade. Despite suffering the loss of an important player, the Nets have done pretty well for themselves. Even when Simmons hasn't been on the court, their duo has shown us all their real ability. Recently, one half of this duo, Kyrie Irving, popped off once more. Facing up against the Orlando Magic, Irving exploded in the first half and had yet another 50-point game to add to his already impressive resume. Many people and fellow players felt Irving was wrongly not kept on the NBA 75 list. Despite everything, his on-court skills are one of the best in the game today. So, when Irving and Durant got together, the entire league knew what was headed their way. And ever since the loss of Harden, both the star players have been on a tear for Brooklyn. Irving scored his second 50-point game of the season against the Magic as Durant had the front seat to his extraordinary performance. Kyrie Irving's single-handed annihilation of the Magic had NBA players seriously impressed. Kyrie Irving didn't come in slow. With a 60-point explosion up against the Orlando Magic, it was largely predicted that the Nets would be victorious. However, Kyrie had his own plans. He went for an all-time high of 41 points in the first half and set the mood quite early for the Nets. This came to be his second 50-point game in just his last 3 appearances for them. Despite having a pretty decent game, like the fans, all KD could do was be totally enamored by his partner in crime. Irving didn't lose any momentum as he kicked off contributions on both sides of the court. He also reminded us why he is still one of the top scorers in the league. He dreams of playing full-time this season, and even though it still hasn't come true, he's definitely already getting ready for the future playoffs. So, what happened at the game? Getting into Orlando, Kyrie Irving decided to take matters into his own hands. The superstar point guard went off for 60 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. Irving was at his prime throughout, shooting a surreal 64% from the field and 66% from downtown. As expected, Durant was on the backseat, scoring 19 points and 6 of 9 shooting. 7 net players scored in double digits as they came out on top against Orlando Magic 150 points to 108 in convincing fashion. For the Magic, their young core had pretty tight games, but it was nothing next to Kyrie. Cole Anthony was ahead with 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. Coming down from an amazing game, Wendell Carter Jr. tallied 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. In addition, both Wagner brothers also contributed quite nicely to the mix, combining 33 points for the night. With Orlando being out of the playoff picture, their young core has a very bright future laid out for them. Irving is really excited to get back as a full-time player. Even the commissioner, Adam Silver, spoke out publicly in Irving's support as per the mandate situation. But if Irving were to actually come back as a full-time player in the middle of the playoffs, do you think the Brooklyn Nets have better chances of getting the title? It's anyone's guess at this point, but it certainly couldn't hurt. Next, LeBron James is still in shock that Kyrie Irving wasn't included in the prestigious NBA list. After Irving's 39 points against the Celtics, King James tweeted how he really does think that Kyrie Irving is one of the most, if not the most, polarizing figure in the NBA, which could have been a big reason why they snubbed him from the very subjective 75th anniversary team, a decision that LeBron James still can't get over. James took to Twitter on Sunday to publicly express support for his ex-Cleveland Cavaliers teammate, who was showing out during the Brooklyn Nets' loss to the Boston Celtics in Game 1 of the first round of the NBA playoffs. Irving ended the night with 39 points and 6 amazing assists, which led James to call him Godry. Young Godry is so damn good at basketball, man. Insane skill, James tweeted. The basketball legend didn't just stop there, replying to another tweet saying someone should be taken off the top 75 list to make space for Irving. He said it's a real shame that Irving was snubbed to begin with. Despite Irving's polemical exit from the Cavaliers in 2017 and his fiery remarks about Kevin Durant being his first clutch teammate, teammate? It's good to see there are no hard feelings on James' part. He's really just giving credit where he feels it's due, which is more than could be said about Irving himself. Now, let's talk about Kyrie Irving versus Boston Celtics fans. Irving made headlines after the Nets' loss against the Celtics, but the focus was not on his stellar performance. Rather, the media was fixated on his toxic relationship with the Boston fan base. Mid-game, Irving flipped off the crowd on several occasions and also screamed profanity at a Boston fan as he headed into the locker room after Jason Tatum's buzzer beater. After he shoved his way out of the Celtics to play for the Nets, Irving has been pretty disrespectful toward the Boston fans. The series is just getting started, so we can expect a lot more from the Gaudry as the Nets look to return in Game 2. If the Nets win the series, Irving would have to come out on top against both his former teams on his path to the Eastern Conference semifinals. In case you didn't know, Brooklyn eliminated Cleveland through the play-in tournament. Still, he plays really well. Minnesota Timberwolves center Karl Anthony Towns created the record for the biggest scoring output this entire season after dropping 60 points. Well, Brooklyn Nets guard Kyrie Irving woke up on Tuesday and said, "Hold my beer." We all know about Irving's stellar performance and how everyone had something to say after it. Irving wrapped up the game with 20 of 31 field goals, which also included 8 of 12 from beyond the arc. Of course, the rest of the NBA players were amazed, seeing yet another awesome performance from Irving. Towns himself recognized Irving's masterpiece, despite getting the spotlight taken away from himself. This is what Evan Fournier, New York Knicks guard, tweeted about Irving. "Kyrie really the most skilled player ever. Not even sure it's a debate." Next, Shaquille O'Neal was not happy. Game 1 of Nets-Celtics was one hell of a pregame to what will be a very intense series. The Celtics ended up taking a 1-0 series lead off a great pirouette and lay-in by Jason Tatum to officially set the score 115-114 as the time slowly expired. But Nets guard Kyrie Irving grabbed all the headlines for the day with his constant commentary towards the Celtics audience. We already told you how Irving was caught on camera more than one time flipping off Boston fans and shouting obscenities. Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley discussed Irving and that whole scene after the day, with Shaq saying it's Irving's job to man up. "I don't want to really hear all that," O'Neal said about Irving's post-game statements, in which Irving said he was going to hold on to the same energy Celtics fans held towards him. To Irving's credit, even between all the chirping, he managed to drop 39 points on 12 of 20 shooting, so his game was still top-notch. That's just who he is. Maybe Trae Young in New York in last year's playoffs set a totally different standard for the NBA villain, but no one can actually claim that Irving versus the Celtics crowd on Sunday wasn't a whole show on its own. Next, Kyrie Irving attends the game and can't play as the Brooklyn Nets look to do their best for whatever remains of the 2021-2022 NBA regular season. The team was unable to have Kyrie Irving on the court. Despite being unable to be on the court, Irving was present at Barclays Center to watch his alma mater Duke go up against Virginia Tech in the ACC tournament, simply in attendance at the game as though he were a fan. "It's ridiculous," Durant said. He didn't understand it at all. To him, it felt like someone was trying to simply show off their authority. Of course, his teammates want him back on the court. We wouldn't want it any other way either. Durant was also hopeful that this is resolved as soon as possible. It also didn't make any sense to him. There were plenty of unvaccinated people in the building, and it looks dumb at this point. Nets coach Steve Nash was unimpressed by the way things played out for his team. There is still hope that Kyrie Irving gets clearance to play, but Nash feels as though the Nets have been let down plenty of times by the way these things have been handled, and they're really hoping he can come back. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Make sure to click the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.